Good Sunday morning, everybody. Red Sox collector Dan McGraw here, making a quick video. Just going to show off one piece of mail from yesterday, a new autograph photo. And I'm going to talk a little bit about how the boom in sports cards has affected my collecting in particular. And love to hear some comments after the fact about how it's affected your collecting. I know a lot of other YouTubers have made similar videos to this, and I kind of want to chime in with my perspective of it from my collecting angle. So one piece of mail to show from yesterday. I actually got two things, but I'm not going to show the other. It was just a 50-card lot of assorted parallels and inserts. Needed about 10 or 12 of the cards, which for me is a big win, especially when I can get it for like $2 or $3, which is about what I paid for it. So the other item I got yesterday was a nice, beautiful autographed 8x10, nice black and white photo here of Mr. Pumpsie Green, first African-American Red Sox player. Looks like a spring training shot. Beautiful black and white photo. Came in the nice 8x10 holder, which I will take it out of and put into my binder and use that for something else. So very cool autograph photo. First one I've seen in a while, so I decided to grab that while I could. So the rest of this video, I just want to take some time to talk about the hobby a little bit and talk about how the boom in the hobby has affected me personally and my collecting. And in a nutshell, it really hasn't that much. As most of you know who are watching my videos, that I am strictly a Boston Red Sox collector. I collect cards, I collect memorabilia, autographs, you name it. If it's got a Red Sox logo on it or a Red Sox player on it, I probably collect it. Now, because of that, and because of the performance of the Red Sox over the past couple of seasons, post-2018, really, and the departure of some of their big stars like Mookie Betts, now Andrew Benintendi, it's going to get interesting now as far as what I can get in my price range. Obviously, vintage cards are booming. To get nice Ted Williams cards, those have kind of been priced above my range. So I try to focus on maybe some more oddball stuff. I talk about a lot in my video when I show off 90s and early 2000s parallels and inserts and relics and autographs and things like that, that those to me are things that are still a little bit undervalued, and they're starting to get a lot more attention in the hobby because a lot of them are serial numbered, and a lot of them are limited as far as, where their availability, because the bigger names are in player collections or team collections, like myself. I might have you might have a collector, let's say, of Carl Yastrzemski, and I've got some nice Yastrzemski cards in my collection that are low serial numbered that another collector might be trying to get, and they can't find them because people like myself have them in their collections. And do I feel bad about that? No, I'm a collector. I'm going to buy the things that I want for my collection. So I think that is impacting, and I think those are still some cards that are kind of undervalued. One person in particular I know that does videos quite often, Bill's Hall of Fame Autographs. I don't know if I have the correct name of the page, but he is a big Maddox super collector, and I like the way when he does his videos, he will give the odds of he'll show an insert card or a parallel card, and he'll give the odds of the card being pulled out of a pack for any card from that subset, and then he'll basically translate that in based on the number of cards in the set, what the odds of actually pulling a Greg Maddux are. And that's a great way to look at it, because it's true. If it's a 10-card insert set and the cards are 1 in 24 packs, then you have a 1 in 240 chance of pulling that particular card, that particular player. So that I like the fact that he does that, because it really, and I've always thought that myself. Like, okay, 1 per box insert. Let's say it's a gold foil in Topps, for example, and if there's 330 cards in the base set, is one of these cards in every 330 boxes. So that's pretty rare. That's pretty hard to come by. So I have always kind of done that myself. So that's a great way to look at what the actual odds are of pulling that one particular player, as opposed to pulling a card from that set. So I like the way he does that. My collecting is so much variety to my collecting that I can pretty much jump from one thing to another. If one thing gets out of my price range, I can jump to something else. If all of a sudden vintage cards that I'm looking for, I can't afford them in better condition, either then I have to jump back and get lower grade cards, Or I say, okay, well, I'm going to get out of the vintage market for a while, and I'm going to get into the relic market for a while, because the relic market, that stuff seems to stay pretty level. There hasn't really been huge jumps in that. Certified autographs, certain players. I've been finding it challenging with harder to find Red Sox cards and more obscure players, even finding the prices going up on those, because if they're serial numbered, people are trying to jump in on those and get them while they're available. I got a super cool one coming that's numbered to 35 of a player I didn't even know had a certified autograph card. I didn't know this card existed until I saw it on eBay, and I'm hoping that'll come in first part of the week this week, because I'm really excited to show it. I feel like I overpaid for the card, but I set a bid that I said this is my absolute ceiling. It was triple what the current bid was, and I just barely won it. So yes, that's something that I've noticed that that affects me. I don't want to pay that much for something like that, but I also want it. So if I'm willing to pay it, then so be it. If I'm not willing to pay it, I have to move on to something else. So, I can always still find bargains. I mean, this is a great example of a bargain that I found. A 2017 Benintendi Donruss Optic autograph card. I paid like $6.50 for this card. To me, that's a great deal. Is it a valuable card? No. If he becomes a superstar in Kansas City, it's going to go mostly unnoticed because it's Kansas City, but his cards eventually will rise. Since he's been traded, there's been more activity on his cards, even though he hasn't really performed that great on the field. So all those things, when you factor in the collectors, the speculators who say, oh, he's out of the big city now, people are going to forget about him, maybe I can get his cards cheaper. Well, that might take a little time to happen, because right now his stuff is still getting activity. I just lucked out and got in on that one cheap. And again, with my collecting, okay, well, geez, cards are crazy right now. What other things maybe aren't crazy? Well, autograph baseballs, photos. I'm seeing it in everything. It's just small increases, things that I have to pay a little bit more for to get, especially if there's bidding. A lot of times I get stuff, I'm the only bidder, which works out great. I get it for whatever the minimum bid is, basically. But when there's a lot of activity, I'm finding that it's getting harder and harder. And there's more collectors, there's more demand, and there's the same amount of stuff out there. So that's going to increase prices. Do I think this is a bubble that's going to pop? Somewhat. I think that there's going to be certain aspects of the hobby that are going to take a hit at some point. I think the ultra-modern market in any sport is absolutely ridiculous right now. My money is always better spent in vintage, and a lot of you would agree with me on that. Would I rather spend $1,000 on a potential superstar, or $1,000 on a beautiful vintage Willie Mays or Roberto Clemente or Hank Aaron card, that's PSA graded and in great shape? I'm going to take the vintage every single time. I feel like there's way too much volatility with those types of things. Basketball has been so hot. You got these young kids that if they blow out their knee, those cards are going to plummet. The market is like the stock market now, whether you like it or not. There's no such thing as a monthly price guide anymore where you see the up arrows and the down arrows. It's daily now. It's daily, and people have instant information just going on eBay and doing comps. And that word comps should be added to Webster's dictionary, because that is a very, very commonly used word, along with words like social distancing and masking and things like that have become popular phrases in the year 2020. The word comps should probably be in the Webster dictionary now too, because it's a popular phrase in the collecting hobby. So, my hobby is, I'm still enjoying the hobby. I'm spending what I'm spending. Maybe I'm getting less for the money that I'm putting out there. I don't know, but I have some stuff that I've had that I'm watching the sale prices of it and just being like, oh my goodness, I'm so glad I got this, or I'm so glad I had this. And with the wide variety of things I have, again, it's just easy for me to say, okay, cards are crazy right now, so let me go back to magazines and publications for a little while. Let me get into pins again. Let me get into, maybe get some autographed balls, or maybe get a couple of Steins or bobbleheads or figurines, Danbury Mint stuff. But every category is starting to see a little bit of growth. But the card market is definitely the booming thing right now. It's the sexy thing. It's the easy thing to get into. And, there's a lot of people who are new to the hobby, people that were in the hobby when they were younger and have revisited it. And I think that eventually people are going to get sick of going to Walmart and Target and finding nothing on the shelves. And then people that don't have, local card stores to go buy stuff from, they're stuck. They're having to try to buy it online and bidding against other people. And that causes prices to go up. It's simple supply and demand. Are people going to continue to pay $500, $600, $700, $1,000 for a box of hobby packs? It might have 6 packs in it, and you might get 12 cards in the box on the chance that you're going to pull some great autograph or relic or a rookie card. How much longer are people going to do that? I don't know. I think eventually people are going to stop and say, look, I'm going to wait for somebody else to pull it, and I'm going to buy that card. I'm not going to take a chance on buying the wax. And that's what is great about joining breaks. And again, that's another option for people that maybe don't have the money to buy that. It's okay, well, I'm trying to get this rookie card, and he plays for the Rangers. I'm going to buy the Rangers team. Maybe spend on a $500 box of cards. Maybe I'll spend $20, $25 on the Rangers, if it even goes for that much, because I want to try to get this card. And at least if you don't get it, you're only out $20, $25, not $500. So breaks are a great way to go for some people. I've joined many breaks. I joined the 2021 Topps Jumbo Box break. 3 boxes. Got some pretty good stuff. Paid for my break. I'm very happy with what I got. Sometimes I do really well. Sometimes I break even. Sometimes I lose. But it's focused on what I collect. I don't say, well, I'm going to buy the Yankees because I want to try to get that Jason Dominguez rookie that's in this product, because there's so many other people doing that. It drives the prices crazy. I'm not doing that for other cards or teams. I'm doing it for the Red Sox. So I have other types of things that I've jumped into. I got into collecting autograph cards of Red Sox managers. I've showed them all off on videos. I think I've got 12 different non-certified autograph cards, actual Red Sox managers on manager cards. There's a few more that I can probably pick up. I've kind of backed off searching for the last week or so. But again, I've just been moving back and forth. I have so many different sets and subsets and, different themes that I'm trying to collect that it's easy for me to jump around. So again, in a nutshell, it hasn't really affected me as much as maybe it affects only people who buy cards or buy Hall of Famers or buy PSA graded cards or, rookie cards or whatever it is you're into. So I'm happy to say that. Will it affect me eventually? Yeah, it already is affecting me. I've said that already in certain aspects, but I can bounce around and collect what I love and still be happy with the purchases that I make. So if you watch my videos, you know that I get mail in pretty much every day, and it's always a wide variety of things. So I wanted to talk about that a little bit. I definitely encourage people to comment and share, whether in comments or make a video about, how the hobby has changed for you over the last year or so, and what adjustments you're making to continue to keep the hobby fun for you. I had a conversation with my boss at work a few weeks ago about my hobby, and he asked me, he says, why do you do it? What are your intentions? And I said, I don't know. I just do it because it's fun. And when I explained to him the process, putting cards on spreadsheets and making want lists and checklists and putting it online, he said, "Well, it sounds like a lot of work." And I said, "Yeah, it is a lot of work, but it doesn't feel like work. It's fun, and it's not stressful. I don't feel like I have to get it all done in one shot. Then it would become stressful. So I do it because I love it, and that's why most of us do it. And I don't intend on stopping anytime soon. So, again, that's my angle on collecting nowadays, and my thoughts and how I collect and how I adjust to the changes in the market. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Again, leave some comments, or I encourage any of you who haven't done a video like this to make a video and talk about how the hobby has changed for you, or what you're doing to adapt to the boom, and give your opinions on what you think the future of the hobby is too. I think it's going to be a strong future, but I do think there are certain aspects of it that the bubble's going to burst at some point. I really do. It's my opinion. I welcome yours. All right. Thank you very much for watching. Everybody have a great Sunday and take care.